When I post about the harassment, they make the internet slower. I've been targeted for over a decade by the United States government counterintelligence unit, monitoring my every move, where I go, what I buy, when I buy it, what I'm doing, my exact movements. They even had the Love and Hip Hop cast. They started sending them to the same locations that I used to go to. They took my receipt and started sending the Love and Hip Hop cast, Monica Scott, started sending them to the locations that I had previously visited or was at. And then they started sending them to the location I was actually at. I would be sitting there eating food, and then all of a sudden you have a Love and Hip Hop person walk by, or they'll have them come sit on the side of me. They had one of the heifers. She came and sat on the side of me over at Phipps Plaza. I was just sitting there by myself eating my meal, and she came over and sat on the side and started recording herself. And I just turned to the side and saw what she was doing and just turned and faced the other way because I knew she was being sent by, basically, the United States government is using the counterintelligence unit. They're using shows, making fake people, putting them on television shows, and then using those individuals to gang stalk individuals. Now, this has been going on for a while because they keep having celebrities gang stalk me. They had Ludacris, they had his wife come stalk me over at the Versace store. They sent her in there. Then they sent a person that owned one of the restaurants, the bars that I went to. They sent him the item that I had just ordered from a location in New York. They sent him the exact same item and then told him to come into the Versace store where I was at shopping. And then they also sent in Ludacris's wife. They sent her in there so she can gang stalk me in the store. He's connected to some advisors I used to work with. So I knew it was the United States government doing that because the same advisor had Lil Wayne and has other individuals as his clients. So I knew it was the United States government targeting me. That's why you see a lot of people getting off on their charges because the United States government was using their financial advisors to target me, having their financial advisors tell me personal information about them, and then would go ahead and maybe pardon the individual if they had a legal case or whatever else they was doing. They had Jay-Z a couple of times. He's been stalking me for decades in various states. So Jay-Z knows this. He knows I know this. And this is what the United States government has been doing. It's been going on for a while. They deleted all my social media. They deleted all my social media and then gave Jay-Z and his spouse the photos of me. And then they're going around doing the exact poses that I did in the photos. One photo in particular was I was in the middle of the ocean, literally in the middle of the ocean with FBI counterintelligence, FBI proxies who they had befriend me, and we took a photo in the middle of the ocean. Well, here comes Beyonce. A couple of years later, after the United States government deleted my account, and here she is posing, doing the same exact photo that I did in the middle of the ocean. So I knew they were targeting me, but I didn't know how much. Now I realize that it's the counterintelligence unit with the FBI, DOJ, GBI, CIA, DHS, and whatever else. They have state agencies, GBI, gang stalking me. They'll take whatever is happening to me, they'll give certain events to movie producers. So movie producers are going around writing scripts about certain events. So I'm sitting here watching a movie and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, that happened, something that I was involved in. How do they know about it? For example, they gave 50 cents I guess the video of my deposition where I took a sip of water during the deposition. because I was being harassed by Gerald Leonard Mattman Jr., which is Donald Trump's attorney. So they had him in my deposition harassing me. He was doing the questioning, so I was having to respond to him or not respond to him. And then I remember at one point I took a sip of water. Well, they gave that to 50 Cent, and then 50 Cent went and turned around and wrote it into one of his episodes on one of his shows, because his last name is Jackson. In the case, the lawsuit that I'm litigating or being terrorized about is for my former employer, Jackson National Life Insurance. So that's why 50 Cent's got all these movie theaters, uh, they gave him most recently a whole lot so he can do more productions, basically targeting black civilians for the United States government counterintelligence unit. And I was wondering why, when the New York attorney general was going through stuff and 50 cents was going in on him, I was wondering, like, how is he getting away with this? And now it makes sense. Basically, the counterintelligence unit was giving him permission to do it, so that's why he goes after people. And the United States government counterintelligence unit basically pays and coordinates with him to do it. And then he basically posts on his social media, or he'll post, make episodes or things like that. So I've been dealing with this nonsense for a while. Like I said, they locked me out of the access gate today. I don't know when they locked it, but today was the first day that I went outside for a while. So they decided just to lock the gate. And what they've been doing is, on my feed, on my what is it, the face, not Facebook, but what is it, Instagram, on the Instagram feed, they was alerting me they were going to do this, because they'll put like posts to say, oh, the person's locked out their gate, and then they'll show the person trying to get into the gate. So they'll do like little skits, and then they'll put it on my feed, and then they locked me out the gate. So I've been dealing with this targeted gang stalking by the United States government, coordinating with federal judges and several agencies for over a decade. And as you can see, they are still at it again today. They had the neighbors assaulting me with directed energy weapons again all yesterday. They were flying bioweapons through the air vents, targeting my ears, my nose, my mouth, my eyes. Um, it goes on nonstop all day long. They refuse to stop harassing me simply because I'm intelligent. This is the only reason they're targeting me, and they're pretending that it's because of an employment case, which is not the case. They had the judge sit on the case for 2 years and not rule on anything. And then when he finally came off his hiatus of not doing anything, they added a public defender, a federal public defender, to the case. They relocated him from Chicago, who lived 7 minutes from basically Donald Trump's attorneys. He lived 7 minutes from them. They relocated him from Chicago, moved him to Colorado, and added him to my case while he was a federal defender. He still is, but he's lying, saying that he's not, while he's pretending to be magistrate on my case, overseeing the United States government target and terrorize me, manipulate proceedings, because they pre-engineered this. They pre-engineered how they wanted it to come out. They pre-engineered all the rulings. They pre-engineered removing my attorneys twice. They pre-engineered having the EEOC refuse to send documents, even though they're the plaintiff on the case. This has been going on for a while. They pre-engineered adding $40,000 to my HOA account so I couldn't sell my home. And then they turned around and was still harassing me, having me assaulted with directed energy weapons while they were going through the proceedings of having the home foreclosed on and illegally stolen by Wells Fargo, who they moved one of their employees across the way from me, gave them the license plate 555, which is also the license plate they gave me when I relocated to the state in 2013. I purchased a vehicle in 2019. They had them give me the license plate 555. It's a couple of letters, but it basically equals 555. And so then they gave me the bankruptcy case. They assigned it 555. I made a comment about it, so then they canceled that case, assigned me a new case. But long story short, the government is still coordinating together, targeting and terrorizing me for no reason at all, none whatsoever. They enrolled me in a counterintelligence unit to target and terrorize me. Now, they've been doing this for a decade. for decades. They're saying it's because of the employment case, but that's not the case, because they've been targeting and terrorizing me prior to this case being filed, which they know that I'm aware of, which I alerted my pastors about, which they're aware of. So if the United States government tries anything, or what they've been doing, have the neighbors coordinate scenes so they can coordinate lockouts, that is being engineered with the United States government. All the agencies that I listed is being pre-engineered with all of them. This has been going on for decades, that I'm having to deal with this nonsense.